Hey there everybody, my name's John Campea. Welcome to my movie vlog. And you know, just yesterday we were talking about how news came out that Avengers Infinity War, according to director Joe Russo, was clocking in to probably be the longest film the MCU has ever had, over 2.5 hours. Well, now we've got a completely opposite story on another MCU film, Thor Ragnarok. In a new interview, director Taika Waititi talked a little bit about the length of the film, suggesting that the film is going to come in at a brisk 100 minutes. Here's what he had to say about that. It's not going to be a very, very long film. I think that stories are better when you leave them wanting more, and this film moves at a clip. It's got stuff happening all the time. I think people are still going to feel exhausted by the end. They've been on this big journey and stuff, so I don't think we need the film to be 3 hours. Now, I can only speak for myself, but I love hearing stuff like this. To me, movies work best usually around that hour-and-a-half mark. Now, don't get me wrong. Many movies work best at 2 hours. Some movies work best at 2.5 hours. But I really like those movies that aim around the hour-and-a-half mark or just a little bit over that. And what's really interesting to see here is that Marvel is clearly not giving any directives about movies have to be this long or movies have to be this short. We see one movie, Avengers Infinity War, for some very good reason, coming in at over 2.5 hours because that movie's going to need that. It's the culmination of 10 years of storytelling. Whereas we get Thor Ragnarok, and there's no mandate to make sure it's over 2 hours. No, this movie works best, according to Taika Waititi, and I trust him as a director, at around 100 minutes. And that's great. I love the fact that these guys seem to know that you don't let the length of the movie dictate what you want to do with the movie. You let the movie dictate how long the runtime should be. And in this case, they're saying the runtime should be 100 minutes. In another case, they're saying the runtime should be 150 minutes. And I think that's great. And just like I really appreciated Joe Russo's explanation for the length of Avengers Infinity War being over 2.5 hours, I really appreciate Taika Waititi's explanation for why it's shorter. He says the movie moves at a real clip, that the audience is going to be exhausted by the end of it, that there's always things happening. And I really like that a director with his sensibilities understands that when we have that type of a film, a shorter runtime might work better. And by the way, I know a lot of you out there still haven't seen Taika's films, either one, Hunt for the Wilder People, which is great, but my favorite film of his so far is What We Do in the Shadows. If you have not seen What We Do in the Shadows, please clear your schedule tonight and treat yourself to that movie. You're going to laugh yourself sick. I just find it really neat that on one day we hear about one Marvel movie being the longest Marvel movie ever, the next day we hear about another Marvel movie being the shortest Marvel movie ever. But the most important question here is, what do you make of this? Do you like hearing Taika's explanation for a shorter runtime? Do you wish it was longer? Do you wish more films were this length? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And listen, while you're here, make sure you click subscribe, become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. Make sure you're following me on Twitter and on Facebook, just at John Campea. That'll do it for me for now, guys. And until next time, bye-bye.